Vodu.
Did you see Dubai this morning? Everybody are in the same hotel. You could have checked on them.
You don't remind them. You know, because of what they are doing.
Ẹgbẹ́ náà gbé àgbà tó jà pé òun. Ẹ̀dúgbè ni.
Ọ̀pẹ̀bẹ̀. Vodu.
Did you see Dubai this morning? No. Everybody are in the same hotel. You could have checked on him.
Hello viewers, Revolution and African Magic Temple fans. Good afternoon to you, good evening and good morning. Wherever you may be at this time zone, wherever your time zone is, we are greeting you. Thank you very much for joining us. And I'm saying good afternoon from African Magic Temple in Accra, Ghana. Today we are going to be here again and we'll be asking you to send in your questions so that we can try to answer them for you. For the past 2 weeks we had not been transmitting from our base, so it was quite difficult for us to transmit on YouTube. And then I asked the children to post the transmissions that we had on Facebook in the past 2 weeks to be posted on the YouTube so that you all can also see what is taking place. Thank you very much. So I will start with doing a prayer, and then after that we can go on to read the greetings that came. Oh, ago manga, someboisa, manga kitikata, manga esse. Esse joto, ame joto, esse nano, esse keno, obano vida konobi, obano vida na ndo konobi, obedo konobi, esse popoli pomayo, ndo abo. Oya shame hamfura sho bitiki do abo, ya semi fura sho ndo abo, ya braxis. Eu acabei falando com o pessoal tão cambiando. Eu me olhando nós aqui é amigo do cacate casa para dentro. Eu lembro. Porque aqui vem o quando me olhar aqui, o ina em baba do flor, a foca em baba do alica. O ina do mate pulo, eteka. O meu akai, mas eu caí, mas eu caí, eu caí, eu caí, pelo bar, não é? Eu dou logo para o lado de fita, só que eu me dou um babu, a cacua quando usava o lenço de minha mãe. E ora que eu hoje eu pato a jogar com a foca uma bola, mas tinha um bola, vou dar um pouco a toda forma de banho, eu ainda vou não tô aí, eu não quero que eu venha, eu vou olha. tuzo pé gbogbo náà tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ ká jọ pàtà bẹ́ẹ̀ ilẹ̀ àfi jọ fún ọmọ jọ yíyí jọ pàtà ọbẹ̀ fìyà jọ pàtà ẹtúrọ̀ mi gbẹ́dá mọ́ ló ẹ̀fẹ̀ fà bẹ́ẹ̀ lé yẹ pàtà nínú àti mi àjọ ló jọ pàtà tẹ̀fẹ́ mi yọ ọmọ sí mi gbọ́ ọdún tó tọ́ bí dẹ̀ níta pẹ̀lú kí zùgbó lu àjìnà ògbó dúpọ̀ ló dọ̀ pẹ́ńpọ́ mi valentine fẹ́ mi ló fà á lójó náà kófù àgùsà pàtà mi yọ àti gèrè mi yọ kúrò nínú yẹrẹ láàfíà èyí mi yọ amẹ́gá sísẹ́ gẹ̀jẹ̀ àpapà sísẹ́ ẹ̀sìn tọ́gbẹ̀ gẹ̀jẹ̀ wàhálà yìí mi yọ brahini mi yọ gbọ̀ngbọ̀nchi mi yọ gbẹ̀ foli kọ́kọ́ mọ́ ẹ̀kẹ́ gbogbo ìgbòdo kúchẹ́ kúmọ̀ kọ̀mọ̀ra tọ́gbẹ̀ ní mbà wà kútó mi nẹ́fà náà ní gbogbo rẹ̀ ní gbogbo mi nẹ́fà náà mi yọ tọ́ ní kọ́sọ́ kú àrẹ kò bí ayọ́ náà ní akọ́sọ́ àkọ́kọ́ fún nípa gẹ̀jẹ̀ tásì ní àmọ́ sí ìfòsí ìjà kọ́sọ́ àbúrà kọ́mọ̀ra mi yọ mi yọ máma yẹn gbọ́dọ̀ yẹn gbà tọ́gbẹ̀ ní akọ́kọ́ kófí àkùbí àmẹ́nsà dórí ẹgbẹ́ kú náà ẹ̀kọ́ ààrẹ náà mi yọ kẹ́kẹ́kẹ́kẹ́ ẹ̀kútó mi nẹ́fà náà ní gbogbo rẹ̀ mi náà gbogbo nẹ́fà náà ní kúlẹ̀ fi ní omi náà yɛbɛ yɛ kɔ onye celestine yɛ wakɔ yɛ katerina kɔ yɛ fɔ nyɛ sɛ kɔ bɛfɔ nyɛ ɔbɛn na kɔ yɛ bɛhɔ a mɛ na kɔ yɛ bɛbi yɛ gbase na bɛ nɛbɛ na ne agbɛ mɔta akuto mɛ nɛfɛ na ne gbogbo de mɛ yɛ wawu na tuji bɛkɔ tuji tɔ bɛ tuji mɛ yɛ ɔkinikini ase nana mɛ yɛ bɔkɔ adafiri sofa hu abofi mɛ yɛ ɔla kɛkɛ lɛ mɛ yɛ bɔkɔ afatsa wa jɔ kɛ mɛ yɛ mi kɛkɛkɛkɛ kuto mɛ nɛfɛ na ne gbogbo de mɛ na gbogbo nɛfɛ na ma nɔsɛ dagbɛ lo yɛ mɛ yɛ ɔnu lɛ va kpɔ no le dzi avega kuto be ne fa na mi be yo to be anani tretu le jita wa be yo atobe Abraham ji venu le chame kuto be ne fa na mi bu re na a be ne fa na ni prevenu sia da be ji me yo mi dolo me yo to be kavi zapao yo la keke lo kuto be ne fa na bo re ne fa na ni prevenu mi dolo ya tape we have aboja pemenu kavi pemenu ajobu pemenu pete benina sinu we yo apapa soku we yo apagro pleto pete dagbe kutu benefa ni bubu we yo benu pete benuta asike benu keke we yo mi pete we yo beremina mo apeli kakraka da me yo mana me yo jeto me yo abo dain ganda do dain kitikpo bi dama ni leseme da na me zangwa me kele me yo mana me yo jeto le me chi ibo me yo atito le me yo echigwa me yo to gbagba na tape po yi me ba cho na gwa be ke shi mo pete ba na ko le bi le se ga na asa ko no mi ba na ro do dagbe o egbe o buga ke mi fo me yo abochi safra kama chwa ba be adogo kotokoli do ko ku ma ku wa gbere mbere to no le cho fra ta ma ni fi mu kwa sin kan yo ko fito ja ba ku o to ko fito ja ko atra kabla me yo mi apete mi ana ni keke to ba ho ba to ba ko do to ra be bu ma sa pa sa di klo ni o ko to ko shi no do kere ku me yo kabla me yo ra keke se me yo able de ma pa sa ko chi no ko chi a je no ko chi no ko chi ta me de be here ke bi ke be sa di be sa toma na ipezani ekaibia yeye wole kwelo ahanani atabe madatome na beteni ana nyembe ano namdo godo me yomi da ke yo afana godo afabo maji so ko kweto so le manja pa di me yo kwali be meji wole meji le so meji abla meji akala ni buda meji sana di kama di trupe meji me yo tula meji yo le teme me yo chere di fumo ko le che tula me ko ba vere fumo wa to ba do na de no ko identi ne me kebe de che da se ne pulo ai Abra na na quella di villa basta da dorenge doginami ma se se meglio perché le mie poco mo ma no abbiamo na botte per no un caro mo no ma se solo no we are ready and please let me read the greetings first and then we go on. Yes, we have Mabel Lens is clapping or saying thank you. And then we have Waizo. It's been a while, Waizo. How are you, Showboy? It's been a while. Pray for me, Toby. Neno Agbe D. Akbe. Neno Agbe D. Akbe. Ohana Agbe D. Waizo, Showboy. Thank you. And then we have Oluchi Osomo, okay. Peace and love to you. We all thank you very much, Oluchi, our big sister. Thank you very much. I think those are the only two greetings that we have gotten. Then we have Mario Young from say good evening, Daddy, and the AMT family. Greetings from India. Thank you very much. How is India? I'm very grateful for you joining us and everybody. Please share these things on your platforms and let other people join this very moment so that we can share ideas, ask questions, and see what we can do. Thank you very much. Yes, before I continue, since there are not many people on the platform here, I'll just use this time to describe an incident that had occurred to us when we went to Bokor recently. On the 29th of last month, we decided to go to the waterfall in the Volta region, the biggest waterfall in West Africa. It's in my district where I come from, the area where I come from. So we went and we left here quite late on Saturday, and we got there very late too, because we have to pass through my mother's village and other things. So on Sunday, we went to the waterfalls, and after the waterfalls, I think those of you who watched us last Sunday section, we transmitted from the Agbo Macha, which is in the name of the waterfall, really. We transmitted from there, and by the time we got back to our hotel rooms, it was already late, and I was quite tired, so I went to sleep. And the children said, oh, they still wanted to have some barbecue, because there were many people also who followed us. So the following day, which was Monday, we woke up and we were tired, so we just relaxed until early afternoon, and we decided to feed Tombe Jopata, because I have got a Jopata, a shrine at Bokor, and I hardly go to Bokor, so maybe I feed it once a year or maybe twice a year maximum, because I don't go very often. So we were feeding the Tombe Jopata, and all of a sudden we saw a policeman coming into the house with arms. We were quite surprised, but then we knew that we were in our own house, and we weren't breaking any law. We were not drumming, because the queen mother of my village is dead, so I think they have stopped drumming and all this. And of course, I don't even have a drum there to play, so we were not drumming. So we knew that we were not breaking any law. So when the police came in, they said they came to us and said, oh, they are welcome, they should sit down. They didn't want to sit down, so they said that they had a complaint from somebody that there was a human rights abuse taking place at my house, and that we were doing some rituals, so people saw us and heard that there was a human rights abuse, that a woman or a young girl was tied together in ropes or in dishes and kept somewhere in my house. So we all laughed, thinking it was a joke. Look at it today here. So we waited, and I said, okay, then they should go ahead and look into the whole house, look into all the rooms. So they went into all the rooms, even to the bathroom and the toilet and everything. They found nothing that was suspicious. So they wanted to go, so I asked them not to go, to sit down. So I wanted to know what is happening. They said, no, somebody had some boy came in here, we were doing some rituals, and they suspected that there was a child that got missing in the village earlier before our coming, that they suspected that we had that child, and we were going to kill the child. So, I mean, it's like, I don't understand what that was. that somebody gave them information. So I said, okay. And they said, oh, since they themselves they came and saw everything, that means it was just a rumor and they couldn't find anything, so they were going. So we exchanged numbers. Then they left. So we stayed behind and we completed all our rituals. So on Tuesday, which was the 1st of June, we decided to come back to Accra. Is it the 1st of June? Yes. We decided to come back to Accra, so we came to Accra, but we came quite late. And then the whole of Wednesday we were resting. We didn't really do anything. Everybody was so tired. It was a long trip. On Thursday morning, there's a lady that I kept up in my house, the only one there, because otherwise there would be nobody in the house at home. So she called me up and told me that the police had come again, and this time in their numbers, not like the few that came, the 5 that came before. These were more almost 10 policemen. That's what she told me. And I asked, what did they want again? He said, no, there's, and also some of the elders from my village came with the police to the house again, that they want to come and escort her to the police station. So I told her, okay, she should go ahead, and whatever happens there, she should let me know. So they went, and after some time, according to her, they asked her what goes on in the house. So she explained to them that it is a house that I have, but then she is just a caretaker. And I come there once a year or sometimes twice a year. Anytime that I come, I open my spiritual door and do my prayers and then go back. So that's all that she knew, and that's exactly what I was doing that day when they came. So the commander of the Bokor district police asked her to go back, that they don't see anything faulty or foul. So she should go back. And later I was trying to figure out where all these things coming from, and from the information that I am gathering, it's like there is a chief at home who probably thinks that he wants to destroy my record, or destroy my life, or defame me, or create, put my character into suspicion, whereby people will doubt the type of person I am and what I do. And this chief, after the police had not seen anything and hadn't, were satisfied with the reason, had told people that I, Christopher, came to Hongkong and killed somebody and was burying the person in my house. He went and gathered all the elders of Hongkong, put them together, and was telling them that I killed somebody and that they want to come into the house again. Come and search, apart from the 2 times that the police had come. And people were arguing with him and said, how could he say that about me? And he was angry with those who were trying to defend me by saying that whatever he was saying, mudslinging me, saying all kinds of bad things. So I sent one of my boys who help me anytime, actually it's a nephew, to go to the chief and ask that chief that I wanted to talk to him. He said no, he's not going to talk to me today, he's not going to talk to me tomorrow. That whatever he is doing, the matter is under investigation at the police station, so he's not going to even talk with me. So the guy came back, and on Friday, I called to the police. No, it was that very Thursday. I called to the police again and told them that this is what I heard that people are gathering to go into my house again. The reason that I was a little bit alarmed is that we have seen such things happen in the past, where people will just label a false allegation against you, and before you know, Christians and everybody will just come and set fire to your house, and all your property will just burn because of false allegation. And you may not be able to hold any particular person responsible for the loss of your property. And that was what I was alarmed about, because I don't live in Hawaii, but I have a small local house there, and I don't want them to come and, people should come and set fire to the house and destroy, because the money that went into it, I will never be able to get it back. And of course, I have some of my traditional spiritual items there as well. So that's what is going on. And on Friday, the police called me to let me know that what these people were basing their argument on, that somebody has gotten missing. They have found the person. They brought the child to the police station, so there is nobody actually missing. Even if it's missing, they have found the person, and there is nothing like someone was killed. Of course, the girl is about 9 years plus. She could tell wherever she had been placed for the time that the people assumed that she was missing. She could tell. So I'm just alerting all of you to know that there is still some developments will come, because I'm trying to make a very serious allegation. I'm going to make a charge against this chief. Maybe he did not know. Honestly, I don't know him very much, and he too didn't know me very much, but he thinks that he could just play and mudsling me and give me bad name. But I'm not going to agree. So when you see me getting angry and maybe doing things that I don't normally do, you shouldn't be surprised. Thank you very much. So please, everybody be vigilant and be on your guard. You don't know, you never know who likes you or who doesn't like you. You may be doing the rightful thing, but a lot of people prefer deceit. So when they see that you are doing the truthful thing or doing the right thing, they would want to destroy you so that their way of life can remain. So be alert, everybody be alert. Thank you very much. Show some of the footage.
Remind them.
Because of what they are doing, yeah. They didn't check what they are doing.
You don't know this thing here, almost 10 years more
Right, take every video.
That's why we don't remind them of Chief. We did our later.
Later will be around.
Okay, this is the footage of what was happening at the house on Monday. It was between 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. around that time, 3:30 to between 3:30 and 5 p.m. Maybe the timing will be on the video. The time, because I wasn't angry, but I was kind of very surprised.
You don't remind them.
That people can just choose to destroy
Because of what they are doing,
Yeah.
they didn't check what they are doing.
by not liking
You don't know this thing here, almost 10 years
create problems.
Right, take every video.
That's why we don't remind them of Chief. We did our later.
Later will be around.
The other ones didn't go inside. The ones with the gun. Huh? Who took the video? Is it okay? You can speak. Okay, so that was what had happened. Unfortunately, we couldn't get ones that were holding the guns in this video, but they should be somewhere. We'll find it later or another time and play it for you. So please, let's go into our questioning and section and the greeting section so that we can do something. Yes, we have Ifa Muagun Jayam Quicksham. Greetings, Togwe from Trinidad. Thank you very much, Ifa Muagun, and thank you for joining us this afternoon. Blessings to you all. And I have a Shamba Musa Mohammed. Greetings, Papa. Greetings, Shamba. How are you? Thank you very much. You know, this is our work. All of you who are new into it and trying becoming a priest, you must be very vigilant, because someone may just don't like you because you are doing traditional things. No, today one of the greatest, yesterday actually, one of the greatest pastors who was more like God than human, from my observation, in the sense that people worship him. He can call the devil and say, devil, come here, and the devil will follow him. And he hears what God tells him to say, that by tomorrow morning this will happen. The pastor died yesterday. That great pastor, Kibi Joshua, is dead. And nobody heard that he was sick or anything. We just heard his death. So they were great people, actually. They were the people who were against our tradition. And I personally thought they would never die. I personally thought they would never die. Because they were more God than human to my own personal observation. And the people worship them and revere them so much. Even God is not revered like them. At that tender age, 58 years, he's still a young man. And if I don't know, but my old man was only doing traditional things. He lived up to 128 years. I don't know how long I will live, but if I take care of myself and I have all the kind of money that these people had, I think I will live long. So, you know, people who are against our tradition are many. They may like to create problem for you when they see that you are doing the right thing. So those of you who are trying to get into African traditional spirituality seriously, be careful with your friends. Those who call themselves God's people. People who will hear messages from God at night and wake up and tell you, God told me to tell you this. All kind of messages from God for you. Be careful of such people. For me, they are crazy people. They are not normal. But then, maybe that is the new normal in our society. So, these were some of the footages of the things that we had to go through on Monday in our own house. It's really. Is that the time the police were sitting down or that's all? Well, it's a show you can see. And this one kept coming. Why?
I'm trying to download it.
Are you downloading it or what?
Yeah.
Okay, we are now coming to YouTube, and we have Solomon Watting. Greetings, Papa, and the AMT family. I love your outfit. Oh, Solomon, Akbe. Thank you. I decided to wear this one today. I don't know, maybe. Thank you very much, Solomon. I'm very grateful. And then we have Deborah June. Greetings from New York. Thank you very much, Deborah. Greetings to you too. Then again we have Solomon. But why is the black man always looking for a way to bring his fellow black man down? What is wrong with the black man's mind? We are problem. It's not that we are in problem, but we ourselves we are problem. That's all that I can see. We are problem. So So that's why. And then we have Juliet A saying greetings AMT from New York City. Thank you very much, Juliet. We are very grateful to you for joining us this afternoon. Please bring in your questions. Bring in your questions so that I can be able to answer them for you. Then we have Mario Young, that you continue to do what you do best. Don't let that deter you. Just that some people don't like you since you raise the up. Since you are straightforward, don't mind them. Thank you very, very much, Mario. I'm very grateful for those comments from all of you. Yes, I'm not going to stop doing what I am doing because I have not wronged anyone. I am only talking about my ancestors and talking about our tradition. I've never mentioned to anyone that anybody should kill or destroy in whatever way. And honestly, I have been doing this our traditional way for a very long time. But I have not used my juju to kill anybody or my spiritual enemy to destroy anybody anywhere. But maybe that's what people wanted me to do. Then I'll spoil my own record. I'm not going to do that. I'll go to another means, which is an option for everyone. I'm not going to use any spiritual. Listen, the only thing I'll do in a spiritual aspect is to find out what is happening and what to do about it. Okay, I think we are finished from there. So there are not many. So play some videos from our this thing. Okay, Papa Sieni. Yes, we love you, Papa. No amount of hatred can bring you down. Thank you very much, Papa C. Gabriel. Thank you very much. And then we have Nancy, Alice Power, Ashe, then Shama Musa, Muhammad says, sorry you had to go through this, Papa. Yes, it's part of the journey. It's part of the journey. These are the hurdles on the way to spiritual, traditional spirituality. If you cannot survive them, you cannot. Because there was one famous traditional priest with whom I was taught by the same teacher. We were in the same shrine when we were getting Tongwe Ablako. He was a very famous spiritualist in Ghana. He was also a gynecologist, a medical gynecologist. He studied in Russia during the Kwame Nkrumah era. So he was quite an elderly man called Dr. Beckley. And he was very good in spirituality as well as in physical health, all that thing. There was one time people just labeled him that he tied some 2 children in his house that he was going to use for ritual. So people swooped on his house and set the house on fire. And the whole house got burnt. Luckily, he was able to get out with his children and people who were with him. He was kept in the jail, in the police custody for long, one for his own safety, because people won't follow or will not understand the real thing. They just get the rumor and they use that rumor because already they envy you. You have properties that they don't have. You have children that they don't have. You have wife that they don't have. You are doing well in your life. You are not begging food from anyone. That alone is envy. So for them, they just want to destroy everything so that you and them will be on the same level again. So this guy had gone through that. It was not easy, if not because some people were his friends, they would have killed him. But the man didn't actually do anything wrong. A lot of posters, magazines, calendars were printed with information from the war in Liberia at that time. All were printed and linked to him that those are the things that he had in his house. None of them was true because I know the man. We belong to the same teacher. He taught us Togbe Abato. And so I knew he couldn't have done that. But this is what the society was. Then again, another time he moved to a new place and built his house, and he was still doing well. Pastors, most of these big pastors in Ghana were all his clients. And then one day again, something happened similar, and his second house has to be burnt again. Maybe it's in his destiny, it's in his karma. I cannot tell. But these things had happened to him. So when these people started making these allegations, I am a little bit alarmed that they don't want them to come and burn my house down or kill my children or kill people around me before the truth will be known. And by that time, we have already lost property and fellow human beings. That's why I have to be very, very careful with this. And then we have a big brother, a called Stone. Bokor, you have power, but you tame that power with kindness. Why? Okay. In this life, whatever you do, whatever action you take, the reaction comes to you. I don't want to have any negative reaction in my next life. I want to have my positive reaction so that in my next life, when I will be born, I will be a better person than what I am in this life. So that's why I try to control my anger and also control my actions. That's what I would say. I'll control my actions so that I don't build up. So I don't want to be, I don't want to have reactions to the actions that I will take. That's why I have learned that many years ago. That's why I also keep quiet to many things. And but my assurance is that I know I have living energies that work with me. And I know they are always defending and protecting me. And everything that happens has a reason, and that reason is not known to me. It's only known to them. But I will wait. With time, I will understand why these things are happening. Thank you very much, big brother Stone. You check the healing process that we did in it's all on that
On your phone.
yes, check them and see the ones that you can show, the ones that if the ones that has too much of the incantations there, you don't have to show that place because that part is dangerous. That is where the key is. Not that people cannot see, they can see that it will affect them. So that's why you cannot show those parts, those audio, unless you have to. Even if you need the audio, people will not understand what is going on, so we don't show those places. By the way, I will just say it. We were at home, and then there was this young girl, about 16 years old, who became seriously sick, and they brought her with a motorbike from school. She was in class when the thing happened to her, and fortunately the mother came to visit the lady in my house. So she called the mother and told the mother that she was suffering. So the mother asked her to come, and she came. They brought her with a motorbike, and I tell you, she was just rolling on the floor and she couldn't breathe. She said her heart and all this. We only use this small avlaco, and then even I'm not the one who did it. It's my new Bokor Christopher Voncujovi was the one who touched the lady with this and then placed them on the wall, and that's it. The sickness was taken out of the young woman, and then she was smiling. So initially when these people came, we thought that maybe the motorbike guy who brought the girl was the one who was trying to create a problem, but apparently it was not him. Because by then the time the police came, that girl was already cured within 10-15 minutes, she was cured and she was sitting among us and eating food and all this and laughing. So there is power. Yes, there is power. Let's use our powers positive for the best and for the progress of humanity. Yes, let's see what is there in questions. If there's no questions, please play. Okay, we have Juliet A. again. I feel so much listening to this. I'm sad and angry and sorry you are going through this experience. Yes, Juliet, it's part of our work. It's part of the experiences and the harassment that you go through when you decide to tell the truth. The world is full of lies, and truth become to be seen as lie. So when you are a person who tells the truth, you are the enemy of the people. But if you are a liar, then you can fit into them, because almost everybody is telling lie. Almost everybody is a hypocrite. So if you are not a hypocrite, you become the bad nut amongst them. Then we have Van Perry. Hello, Papa. We are all sad that you had this experience. I'm glad to see you and your family are well. Thank you very much, Van Perry. Thank you very much. That's what life is. We just have to learn how to live it well. That's all that I can say. How can everyone assess that power? By practicing, by getting initiation, and by being taught what is what. You can't just sit down and be able to get the power. Power is everywhere. But how to assess it, as you are saying, is through techniques and people who know the way already and will lead you on that way. We were all not born with powers. Some of us were born with, some of us also came to meet it and learn from the people who has it. So to be able to assess that power is to learn from those who know the way. And the real Idubo he asked that question and he said, greetings, Papa. So greetings to you, Renal Idubo. Greetings to you. Thank you very much for the question. And then we have for Martin Kobler, good day, my dear brother, of all the Bokors of our continent. You are the only one prepared to share knowledge. God will preserve your life and you will outlive anyone with evil mechanization. Machination. Your experience is case in point. Yes, you're very true. Thank you. Thank you. Dube is here. And this is so somebody, okay. They'll bring the camera to you. So that you can bring the camera to you. You see that they'll bring the camera to you. Yeah, say hello to you. Yes. Thank you very much for watching. It's one of those things. And the worst of the worst.
Hello, ATM family. Hello, Brother Martin. See, I'm in the today. So, such a good time. You guys, you see, I was here last year for removal of the destiny. And I felt so good. Things started to change me. And I'm here back again for more. It's time for my to set up the destiny. Thank you very much.
Right, take everything.
Now you are doing good things. Thank you.
Good, it's okay. They can change it from here. So it's okay. Now, Idubo is again asking. No, before Reina was Montitel. Montel. No, not yet. Greetings, Papa and viewers. I always look forward to tuning into this weekly live session. Blessings to all. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We are very grateful for you tuning in and also being one of our regular supporters and one of our greatest fans. Thank you very much. And then we have Renal Indubo say, Papa, how long does it take to learn how to access the power? It's a lifetime thing, Renal. It's a lifetime thing. You know, I just spoke about something, a question that Big Brother Echo Stone asked me, that why is it that I have so much power yet still I am kind? See, action. Every action has a reaction. When you take action, you should expect that there will be reaction. So when you don't know how to live your life and you come back into this world, the things that you go through will be different from someone who knows how to live his life and know how to take his actions. So for how long one can take to learn this power or to access this power depends on each and everyone's destiny. It will depend on what you were in your past life before coming into this life. And that is going to judge. That's going to be the judge whether your progress on the path of spirituality will be fast or your progress on the path of spirituality will be slow. When I was in India, I learned also that when you have spiritual power and you misuse it, sometimes you can be born back like an animal, not like a human being even. So, because of this, I am very, very extra careful about the actions. The karma, as it's called in Hinduism or in Sanskrit, karma means action and reaction. Every action that you have has got a reaction which is equally opposite to the action you have taken. So when you live your life in a very good way, the reactions that will come to you to be in a good way. But if you take drastic actions quickly without really thinking the cause or the effect that will come. When the effect comes, you'll be blaming God and blaming other people without knowing that you are the one who has created your own reaction. So I will not be able to know how long it is to access power. But I have been on this path of spirituality from my early age, as early as 12 years old. I had already started my journey. And here I am after so many decades. I'm still not yet gotten what I wanted. But I know where I am now. I am at peace. But what I want, I have not gotten it totally yet. So how long it will take to access spiritual power, I cannot tell. It depends on each and every individual. When you get the right teacher, it makes it easier. But the right teacher will be able to guide you and tell you what are the things you should do and the things you shouldn't do in order to protect yourself from reactions in the future. But then there are some teachers also who will not coach you or teach you. They just let you do it because you have power. If anybody does anything to you, you just pam. You throw power and the person dies and then you go and laugh. But after some time, you regret it. So is it this small thing that made me so angry that I had to destroy? But the moment you regret, the spirit will record your mistakes for you because you did not have patience to think things over before reacting. So it depends on each and every individual how long you'll be able to access power. But the power is there. It's in the whole universe. You only need the keys to open those doors and power will come to you. Thank you very much. Get it listened down. Renal Idubo. Thank you very much. Then we have a full Martin Kotler. Hello, Dude, good to see you. Martin is here.
Homeboy. We live in the same town, same city.
Yeah. So, Then we have Michael Opoko. Good afternoon, Papa. May the ancestors continue to bless you for sharing your wisdom with us. Ashe, thank you very much, Michael. I think the items have gotten to you, so please do as I told you, and let's see how things will be. Thank you for everything. Then we have Sakidu Legion. Greetings, Papa, and the AMT family. We are glad to have you once again. Thank you very much. Thank you to Sakidu. We are very grateful that you are also here. Thanks a lot. I think that's the last one day out today. And then we have Faustina Fiawu. Good day and greetings to you all. Thank you very much, Faustina. How are you? Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Please share your this moment of African Magic Temple Revolution question and answer section. Please share them on your platform so that others can join in and ask questions. We have only a short time to do this, and today we have not picked any topic to discuss. But if any of you wants us to discuss any particular topic, please you can post that topic and we can all delve into it and be able to discuss it for the benefit of all of us who are here, and maybe for the benefit of other people in the future. So if you want us to discuss any particular topic, let us go into that. Just bring the topic and I will be able to give some insight into it. Someone wants to say something? Are you okay?
Okay. Hello to all.
Now they have to turn the camera on, then people can see. Well, call Jones to also to come and help you. Where is it? Did Penny come back? Oh. So you brought people back? Okay, you are on.
Back from Bokor. Quite a few hiccups, but in general, overall, the trip was a very successful and relaxing one. We're back in the shrine doing our weekly live session. We have been discussing as a team of what kind of content we can create so that you can learn more, and we are planning and we are in the production process right now to produce more videos so you can see what we actually did. Did some very exciting things. In Bokor, we witnessed a lady who was going through an initiation where she had to go into the market, and she was going to, I think, a year initiation, and so we accompanied her, and all that footage you didn't see on Facebook yet, but we are going to be able to share the elements that we can share, and so keep posted. We will keep you posted on that. But beyond that, we'd like to hear more about what kind of topics you guys are interested to learn more about. I know some of you have been initiated here and you want to continue your study abroad. And so we would be interested to know if you can tell us what kind of topics or what kind of videos you may find very useful as an initiate here at African Magic Temple and of vodu. So that we can know what kind of content we can produce that will be very useful to you. So please let us know if you're watching right now. Please comment or ask any questions that you have about vodu practice.
Okay, you turn it back to me. So you heard Senna that was saying, as I was also saying, that like today we can talk about some topic, but you can let us know, and the team will prepare a topic just like what we did 2 weeks ago on essay or destiny. So such contents we will prepare. So people should give us a clue, give us an idea what kind of contents you will want us to develop and then present to you, so that we can sit down as a team and prepare them, and then let you see them doing the live sessions.
Well, you say it's okay. Is it okay for somebody? Can somebody's life be okay even without doing the essay or self-wear removal, in your view?
Okay, so now it's asking a question whether somebody's life can be okay without doing the essay or self-wear as in the AB culture. The ABs believe that with your essay comes everything, like the songs we used to sing. So, but that not everybody knows where to go to fix things that are not good or correct or not right in their essay. So they live their life believing in something that doesn't really have power until they die. And that also is your destiny. Because if your destiny wants you to know, you will find the right source to know. So people, it's not everybody who live in this life that doesn't did a self-war or whatever. But if you, as a person, and you realize that things are not going on well for you, then you must find out the reason and the reason why things are not going well for you. And that's where your essay begin to appear or say what is going on, being the reason why things are not going on well. But when they born you and your life is okay, you don't have any problem, what will you bother about essay? But that doesn't mean your essay is not at play. But then it is more of a positive thing that your essay has brought to you. So you may not even think about anything. People who are very rich don't go to church. People who are very rich don't go. They will go
people are born with good essay.
Yes, of course, depending on what they did in their past life. That's why I was saying earlier, if you create good actions, the reactions will be good. So you don't need to suffer again in another lifetime to be struggling so much. We are all coming from perfection into this world, and we all want to go back to perfection. So it's a journey going back to perfection. That perfection is what is called God. So it is up to you how you work towards that perfection and become the perfection itself. So your essay plays part in your life. But if you're saying nothing is wrong in it, or maybe you don't know, you can just live your life. But if you know, you can work on it. It is not like a force, but people who know, who understand, or who feel that something is not going on in their life are the ones who are looking for a solution. When people get rich, sometimes they think there's no giving God.
Mm-hmm. And so sometimes we do feeding of essay, and sometimes it can be seen that the essay is strong, or it can be seen that the essay is weak. Mm-hmm. So for somebody who has had essay prepared for them, what are some factors that can cause a person's essay to become weaker than normal, or things like that?
One of the things that can make your essay who has already been set for you is the way you attend to your essay. There are things that your essay probably don't want you to do or wouldn't want you to accept, but because you are using your human judgment, you are accepting them and you are doing them, hoping that it will be okay. Take for instance, you have a wife, or you have a girlfriend, or you have a husband, and this husband is disturbing you, and you know that husband is been disturbing you, or you know this wife it's not helping you to progress. But you take it that, oh, it does not matter, it's my wife, so let me just contain her. Or it's my husband, so let me just contain her and live with it. Meanwhile, every day you are feeling hurt inside. You are not happy inside, but because you don't want society to talk about you as, oh, this man cannot marry, this woman doesn't stay with me. And you are thinking of other people's happiness more than your happiness, and you want to just to live it, yourself will become weak. But your self is already trying to tell you that it's not happy. Because we say a segla and a gla. When your essay is strong, you will be strong. Essay is judge, may judge. Which means if my essay is happy, I will be happy. So if your essay is not happy and you are controlling your emotions and everything just because you want to please society, please other people, your essay would automatically become weak because it's not happy, it's not feeling free, but you suppress it by doing things that, or agreeing on things that it doesn't like. So it also will just accept like that, oh, my essay, Joto, which is my second person, he wants things to be like that. But that doesn't mean the essay doesn't have power. It has power, but you just keep quiet and be watching. So also it is with Afa Poli. When they give you fa and your kennels or unku or all this here and there, and the way you have to take care of it so that you always empower it, just like the same like the ancestors to empower them, and you don't. If you don't empower it or take good care of it, it will be there, but it will not
Have power.
it will not have power. It will just be there. It's like you bought a new battery, car battery for that matter, and you don't use it, you just keep it down. What will happen to the battery? The battery will become weak, and one day you think that you put it on your car, it will spark, it will spark. And that doesn't mean the battery is not powerful, but because the battery is not properly taken care of, it will become powerless. Does that make sense? So that's how it is. So your destiny.
Not taking care of it or feeding it regularly or nourishing it. Your human relationships that are close to you. Those are things
Send
that
up your cough, come and record that so that the sound will not be far away, because some people may not be hearing it, so that if he talks, they transfer the camera, they listen to the camera. So yeah.
Is there any relationship between Ajay, which we are calling witchcraft in English, and Ese, in the sense that Ajay, in Afa, Ajay can disturb a person, can affect that person, their things. Can Ajay affect somebody's Ese compromises?
Life, take every video.
The word is breaking down in Ebe means that which shines, that which will make others to see it. Ajay, and that's how it is in the direct translation. So, what we call Ajay, we have positive and negative as well. People who have positive mind will use their Ajay for progress, development, helping people, and helping themselves. And those who are negative will use their Ajay in a very negative way to destroy, to envy people, to create problems for others. So, as it is you as a person, you and the Ese are the partners. Because it's the one that has become you, and you are the one who became it. So the two of you are like twins. That's why when you are feeding Ese or giving things to Ese, you always do it on two. You bring 2 yams, 2 bottles, 2 this, everything two, because it's like the twins. you and your essay are like twins. When you are physical, the essay is on the spiritual side. When you die, the essay becomes on its own as a spiritual. Your body is somewhere until it looks for another body to reincarnate or come back into life to continue from where it left off or where it left off. So Ajay is also very powerful. When we talk about Ajay, in reality, I was speaking to somebody yesterday. Ajay is one of the most powerful forces in nature. Like in that body where God wanted to see the world, to look into the world. Monikoche. And God wanted to look into the world and see what, and he wanted to know who has the power to see or shine so that God can see whatever is happening in the world. As in Monikoche in Afar. They first asked Fa, as in the definition, listen, to look into the world and tell God to see whatever is happening. Fa looked to some point, they couldn't see everything. Then they asked Thunder, which is Toho or lightning, to shine, and so that God can see the world. So when it shined, yes, it became light a little bit and then again went back into darkness. Then the third one was Ajay. God asked Ajay that he should shine so like it. And when Ajay shined, it didn't stop. The whole world became clear and God was able to see. Then God said, oh, you are the one who can see or can show more things than anybody. So I give you that power. So when you talk about Ajay, it's a very strong and a very powerful force. It can affect your essence, it can affect your everything. That's why you must also be very careful each time you are doing. You must check the destiny in order that this will happen. And when we talk about Ajay as in men, which the Englishman called wizard, the wizards are also Ajay, top or owner of Ajay. And they call it top its owner. If Ajay or people who are wizards or sorcerers want to destroy you, like in Joker, they say somebody used juju to kill somebody. It is not your physical body they kill. They just know keys to tell you, I said to leave the physical body while you are alive. So when you are saying bows and give up, you will die. They will call your essay and tell your essay that, okay, what does it want to eat? Or if it's hungry. Okay, I'm not supposed to teach these things, but I'm just bringing some light into it. So they will ask you, essay, what does it want to eat? So they will invite you, essay. And when your essay comes and they ask the essay that, is he hungry? And he says he's hungry. They will ask you, essay, what does it not eat? They say, okay. The essay will say, I don't eat this, I don't eat that, I don't eat that. And that's what they're going to feed the essay. And but because your essay is hungry, if they should feed your essay with those things, they weaken it already. And then you, the physical body, will fall off and die. So when they say juju people or sorcerers are killing you, most of the time it is your essay they are attacking. When they attack your essay or your destiny or your inner self or your soul, the body is nothing. It will just fall off. So when your essay is strong and powerful, through nourishment and keep taking good care of it, when they call your essay anywhere, when they ask, is he hungry? He says, no, I'm not hungry. And if he says he's not hungry, what are you going to feed it? You can't feed it. But if you are not taking care of your essay and your essay is weak and is hungry, and some people who don't even set up essay or anything, it is easy for people to call their essay feed it because the man himself or the woman herself does not even know anything about essay at all. They think that they themselves are themselves forever. They don't know anything and they are not interested in anything. You die. Take for instance this man who died yesterday, TB Joshua. I cannot understand that is it that Saturday? He died yesterday. And I think he had a meeting with his team on Friday.
That's it.
That's Saturday. And then how come he cannot have any feeling, or nobody could see that there's something happening to him? As powerful as they were, somebody should feel or know that something is not right with our boss. Or he himself could even feel it and say, I'm not feeling very well. Because before human beings would die, your death started at least 90 days before your physical body falls off. Your essence will start packing and leaving you before finally the body gives up. So with that, within those days or at those times, you will be feeling that you are not balanced, as if something is not right. That's why we those of us who are doing Afa and vodu, we will immediately ask and say, I'm not feeling well, I want to know what is going on. And then they will tell you that death is approaching you. And that's the speciality of Fa and maybe in the mirror. They will tell you that death is coming closer to you or death has surrounded you. Then you are going to ask, so what do I do to get out of this circle of death that is surrounding me? Then you can do this, do that, do that. And then when you do them, you will see that you start feeling better. But maybe he knew, but maybe also he did not know. Or maybe he knew, but he felt that it was his time to go and he didn't want to scare anybody. But probably he put people in his place by training them that in case he is not around, the things can continue on their way. So let's hope that the people who will come after him should be able to be more human than God. Because for me personally, I see these people behaving as if they are gods and people actually worshiping them. I had shared some story before. A lot of time people say that when you go onto Google and you type in Professor Pella of what do you call it, Pangrove or Onipan in Lagos, where his house was before the time I knew him. People said that TB Joshua was his son. But if you go into Google, type in Professor Pella, you will see TB Joshua was also listed as one of his children. But from my personal knowledge, he was not his child, but he was with him as those people who helped the man to do things. So when you learn all these entertainment things and finally start to use them as if you are God, it's very, sometimes, I don't know, I'm not trying to criticize him, but sometimes I'm surprised how things go. I was not directly with Professor Pella, but my teacher, son of Dr. Who's father, was the one who taught Professor Pella. And I was with son of Dr. Who when he started teaching me entertainment magic back in the 1980s. And it was upon that I progressed. So when I went to India and came back, I performed magic for the Nigerian or Lagos Association of Magicians. That was in 1986. And all the magicians there were surprised that I was just a small boy and I was so good within a very short time. And Pella stood up. Professor Pella himself stood up that, oh, everybody called me teacher. So, teacher, you are better than all of us. And these are my masters. These were my masters, people who I revered so much. He was telling me that I was better than all of them here in Nigeria at that time. Then also, I felt I didn't really even know anything yet. Then, my own master, son of Dr. Who, came to me and said that he was very proud of me, that I have made him so proud among the other teachers because I really raised his head up. So, Prophet T.B. Joshua was one of the guys who was around Pella at one time. That's what I read on Google. I may not really remember seeing him because at that time everybody was young, so you cannot really see. And my junior brother Alex is now he came to live with me in Lagos, and I made him to teach Professor Pella's children English and all the other things. So that is that. So I have not really known him at that time. We were all young people. But then when he became a big prophet as he is, I was very surprised when I had read the news today that he passed on. Because if somebody is in this path, okay, sometimes they live without telling anybody anything. But most of the time, they start to prepare their back and other things, and people who are smart will take notice that this person is just preparing, isn't about to get to go. You know, the old man, when he was alive, before he would die, he was already preparing me and telling me so many things and teaching me so many things. Sometimes he would just wake up at night. I am living in my house and he was here. He would just tell them to call me to come that very time. I should come now, and then I would just drive and come. He was when he was living here. Sometimes in Volta he would call me to come. Then I would come, and then he would ask me, "Am I having my recorder? Am I having a pen and paper?" I say, "Yes." What is it? So something he just remembered. He wants me to record it and write it down now. So some of the initiations he gave me were initiations that were not planned. It would just happen, and then he calls me and I come, and then he would say, look for a cowrie, and then he would do certain things and give me some to swallow, and that's it. Like the energy he gave me, the initiation he gives me, that anything that my hands will touch, I will fix it without even doing anything. So long as my hands touch that thing, it will be fixed. And it was one of those things. That's why there was a guy who was a medical doctor from Australia, came here. We were doing something, and then I told him to wait. We did a reading for him, and he wanted to go, and I was also doing something for somebody else. By the time I came, he jumped into the car. He wanted to leave, and then the engine locked. The key locked in the boot of the Mercedes-Benz car. There was no way he could open it. So I was busy, and we were here, and then I told them they should just wait for me. So no, they want to leave the car and go back to Kumasi and then come back another day to pick it. I said, no, tell them to wait for me. And they were waiting, and by the time I came, they were looking for a mechanic and all this. I said, I just sat in the car. And it's not my car, so I didn't know even what to touch. But I sat in the car, I came out, and before he knew, the boot opened. He picked his key, they drove off. Just like what happened last Monday at home, when they brought this girl in pain and her heart and her head. Everybody was so scared, she was just throwing out. When we took her to the back, I think it's about 10 minutes, we brought her back and that was the end of her pain and everything. Everything just went as if nothing had happened. So there are certain initiations that when a person is about to leave the world, it gives to people who believes in that they will take care of the back when he or she is not around. So when people just die without really preparing, that somehow sometimes give me a lot of thought. I don't know, I don't understand. I'm still learning, but it's very strange sometimes. Yes, let's go back to the questions and see. And
this is Ikea.
Ikea.
He's been following our work on revolution.
Which of the Ikea? Ikea what?
Ikea Yobua.
Ikea Yobua, okay.
Yes.
Okay, because there's another Ikea Forsen who is also been a very strong fan.
Okay.
So that's why I'm asking. Yes.
Where did you first see her? Was it on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube?
Nene. You know Nene? He went to school with you? He told me.
Nene?
Yeah, he was a Vancouver. Yeah. So he told me about you years ago. And then I think just last year is when I actually started following the page. Yeah.
How is Nene?
He's good. I was actually talking to him this morning.
Where is he now?
No, he's still in Vancouver. Yeah. He's coming in December, he says.
Small world.
Yeah, very.
You went to SOS, and then you went to UBC.
Yes.
Is that where you?
Yeah.
You
No, I didn't go. No, I didn't go there. I went to school in Toronto. He went to school in
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Ikea.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's go on. Let's go on with the question and let's see who is sending in questions. And is that Reynald Idubo? He said, Papa, thanks so much for your point. That very choice has a consequence. And one action depending on the other reaction, that's good point. Papa, after being teach, do the Spirit continues to teach and guide you and how? Yes, of course. Spirit is a living thing, and when you are connected to it, it continues to guide and to teach you and bring you more closer to perfection. That's how I would say, that's how I have experienced it. And I believe a lot of people that had been students through my hand are also experiencing and experimenting with it. So spirit is a living entity. It's only unseen, but it's a living entity, and it will surely, when you continue teaching you, when you are introduced to it. It's just like having a friend who doesn't know you, you don't know the person. Like when you get to know each other, after some time you become close friends and become the best of pals as well. That's how spirit is. So the initial introduction and the teacher is what matters. Because if the spirit that the teacher is going to introduce to you, trust the teacher. Then when the teacher introduces it to another person, the spirit will know that the teacher might have done some background checking on that person before the introduction. So the spirit will surely work with that person. Yes, sir, we have a format in common. We say that God is most powerful and yet most cowardly, right? If God should use his power to destroy anyone that abuses their God-given willpower, there will be no end to destruction. There are so many evil people in the world. How long can the Bokor continue to kill evil people with this power? That's the question. It's not possible. It's not possible that the Bokor will continue killing people or anything. It is not possible. But that is a very good question for my king. You know, evil and good are the same thing at the opposite sides of a coin. Evil can be likened to darkness, and good can be likened to light. But without darkness, there is no light. Without light, you cannot notice darkness. So what people think is evil may not be evil to another person. What people see as good may not be good. So in the reality, there is nothing really good and there is nothing really bad. It depends on who is taking that action. And that is what will make it bad or good. Okay, if a group of people decide that this person or that animal is a bad animal and let's kill it, the whole society accepts it, that it's a group of people who decide to kill somebody or hang the person, send the person to firing squad or to the gallows or whatever. And nobody sees anything bad with it. But it's also a killing, isn't it? Somebody has been killed. But if an individual wakes up and go and kill another individual, it is looked at as evil. But all is all killing. So there is nothing really like a good thing or bad thing. It depends on the way you look at life. That's all that it is. Thank you very much for Martin Conrad. And then we have Michael Opoko again. Papa, please, can you explain how to pray to Mau Ese in order to influence one's destiny positively? Thank you, Michael. To pray to Mau Ese, as it is called in Ebe and in Krabia, in Akan, is just I don't know how to say that. The people who have been initiated or whose essay has been done, we actually teach them, because if the essay is not set or the negative has not been taken away or aligned with the positive properly, sometimes it is very difficult that when you pray to it, it will hear you seriously. So our people pray to Mauga Sobolisa, Mauga Kitikata, and then Mauga Essay, just like praying. But when you have been properly introduced, that means when you are praying, the energy that you are introduced to is listening. That makes a very big difference than just prayer. When we initiate people, when a priest initiates people, they introduce you to certain energies or divinities, principalities, call them whatever, or call them voodoo, call them whatever you want. Then it is that introduction is what is called the initiation, so that you can now have regular contact with that entity and make it easier, so that when you are saying what prayer is, or whatever prayer you are saying, the entity will listen to you, because the entity knows you. I think there is a part of the Bible that if you know my name and you call me, I will answer you. So if you don't know my name, or you don't know my names, and you call me, how will I know who is calling me, and how will I answer you? When you know my name and you call me, I will answer you. That is where the difference is. People pray every day, calling Jesus, calling all kinds of things. But they don't have any personal introduction to that Jesus or to that spirit or to that energy or to that principality or divinity. Minan do have you? Let me know.
370.
Huh?
370.
Okay. So when you don't have any direct, when you pray, see, when the listener of the prayer is present, when you pray, you get answers. But when you are just praying for praying's sake, then you heard somebody praying and you are praying, how do you know the listener of the prayer you are praying or the person you are praying to is around? You may be pouring water over a stone, it will never enter. The moment you have that connection with either your essence, your whatever, your spirit is introduced into the psychic plane. it makes it easier for you so that when you pray, you can get positive answers. And the destiny begin to work your life for you by telling you things that are happening. Some may come in the form of dream, some may come as feelings, some will be instinct feelings, or all kind of things. Then you have to know thyself. You must watch yourself, and then so for now, if I tell you that this is the way to pray to Mau Essay and things will start happening positively, I may be deceiving you. But to those that have been set up for them, I can positively tell them that when you call your essay, and whatever you ask your essay, they will tell you. Recently, which was today, Saturday. What was Saturday? Today is Sunday. No, Friday night. Thursday. It was Thursday. And Senna and Pele were going to feed their essay. And then when we were asking questions, Senna was asking questions to his essay, we realized that it was always saying no. Then I had that information that Senna's essay is weak, and that's why Senna had been sick on to this year. And then we asked the essay, so what should we do to strengthen? And he gave us positive things. And when we started doing it on the spot, things started changing, and then the answers started coming positively. And even for Senna to give his animal to the essay didn't take it. It took so long for the essay to accept it, and all that was indication that the essay was not very strong and was not listening to him the way it should. But then after the ceremony, we can see that Senna has relaxed and feel more stronger, as we can see. So for a person to really communicate with you, so you can just be praying normally that as in can my essay as in a way you continue praying to them. The essay is at work on its own, but when they introduce it to you, it becomes more active in your life. You can feel its presence. Not that it's not in your life until it is introduced. It's already there in your life already, but when you are properly introduced to it, that is when you begin to feel your relationship with your own destiny. And you can also positively direct it to the way you want things to be. Michael, I don't know whether I have answered your question, but this is how much I can say. But then one day when you essay, you have your essay removed, negative one removed, and the positive one aligned or set up for you. Negative one aligned and positive one set for you. There will be, you will understand what I am saying. It is, these things are not what somebody can say and explain it. It is the feeling, the action. When the things are done, the practicality of it is what will begin to give you the positive answers. But if I am explaining it, I cannot explain it. It's not words that can explain it. It's a feeling. Once that feeling begins to dawn on you, you will begin to understand it more. And then we have the Sakido Legion here. It's already said that with power comes great responsibility. Yes, I agree with you, 100%. Power is burden, and it takes great amount of patience to live with such amount of power without abusing it. One spiritual guide of mine once told me that some spirits sometimes tempt us or create situations on our path, so you can use that power. It is up to you, the practitioner, to be aware of such situations and deal strictly with it, else you become puppet of the spirit, especially joker. Yes, Sakidu, I agree with you 100% on everything that you are saying. Of course, we were told that when Jesus Christ went to fast for 40 days in the mountain, 40 days, 40 nights, which is the greatest thing that Christians still dwell on that Jesus Christ fasted for 40 days. 40 days. My master fasted for 5 years. I'm not joking. My master fasted for 5 years. Yes. He is not Jesus.
He was not eating and drinking.
No.
No food, no drink, nothing.
5 years.
Okay.
So we were told in the Bible that the Bible, the holy book of the Christians, that when after Jesus has fasted for 40 days, 40 nights, God sent the devil to him. You know, the devil, people think that it's also a human being or something. No, it's you yourself, your mind. It's not anything. It's your mind, your inner self. It's the same God, it's the same devil. So why should God send the devil to his son? What agreement does God and devil have together? No, people don't ask such questions. If the devil is an enemy of God, as we were told, why should God send the devil to his favorite son? To do what? To kill him? Ask questions, ask yourselves. So we were told that the devil tempted Jesus Christ, oh, you have got an abundance of power now. Why don't you just take a stone from here and turn it into bread and eat? And Jesus didn't mind him. He was telling Jesus, okay, you are going to walk from this mountain all the way to the top. Why don't you just fly over and then get to where you should get? Because after all, we say that there will be no stone that will touch your feet or scratch you. But according to the same Bible, the holy book of the Christian, Jesus didn't mind him. Finally, when the devil continued worrying him, he shouted at him, get behind me, Satan. The truth about it is that Jesus had gone through some spiritual upliftment where he could change the water into wine, he could change stones into bread, and all this. He could also even make 12,000 people eat 5 pieces of fish and bread easily. But at that point, he had all these powers, but he did not use it for himself. What happened is that he was being tempted within himself. The devil inside him and the God inside him were challenging. Was this power supposed to be used for your own personal happiness, or is it for the benefit of the maximum of humanity? So this was what happened. So when you have power, you also have responsibility. So you must, as much as possible, until if you realize that you are going to be destroyed by someone, then at that time it is called self-defense. If you use anything that you have, it will be called self-defense. Even if it is a physical gun, when people attack you and press you to the wall, and you shoot them down, or people broke into your house and you fear for your life, you can shoot. And when they take you to any court or any place, you have the right to say it is a self-defense and people will accept it. So it is in the spiritual world too. If you have joker, or you have power, and people threaten to destroy you, and you realize that they want to destroy you, and you use that power that you have, no force will get angry. Even Kama will understand that it is only living people who worship God. Dead people don't worship God. So if you are not alive, you cannot worship any spirit that is with you. Whatever you call joker, or whatever you call angel, or whatever you call whatever, if you are not a living entity, you cannot do it. So your spirits will also understand that you are at the verge of death and you must defend yourself, and it will not be taken wrongly for you. Just like when soldiers go onto a battlefield, there is a fight between two armies. Soldiers will not be accounted for how many people they shot down, because they are defending themselves. This party is defending themselves, this one will be defending themselves. But if you don't shoot, it will kill you. So, Sikidu, I agree with you 100%. Thank you very much for these points. And that's what we all have to take note of when you are on the path of spirituality. It's not that we don't have power. We have the power. But you must control it. Don't let power control you. Okay, moving up. Well, where is the marina? And for Martin Kobler, I say, hello, Senna, great to see you. I'm grateful to you and your brother for encouraging my brother to continue to do his work. Thank you very much for Martin. I'm very, very grateful. And then we have a Montitel. What is the difference between voodoo practice in Haiti, New Orleans, and other factions of the US as compared to voodoo practices in Ghana? That is African magic. Voodoo is the voodoo, as the word voodoo, is everywhere. It's not the New Orleans word, and it is not Haiti word, and it is not any other person's word. It's the word of the Aves. Voodoo simply means spirit. That's all that it means. So if it travels to Haiti and New Orleans and other places in the diaspora, it is coming from the roots of the Ewe people who have been transported against their will into the New World, as it was called in those days. So what we are practicing at African Magic Temple, and we are talking about and teaching about, is the voodoo of the Ewe people, which is the original origin of whatever is practiced anywhere else. I have never been to Haiti, and I have never been to New Orleans, so I cannot know exactly how they are practicing it. But the voodoo that my ancestors have practiced, which predates slavery, which predates Christianity, is what I am teaching, and that's what I'm talking about. Yes, Sarah, move forward. And then we have a big sister, Annie G. Fisher. I'm grateful, Papa, you are all okay. Good to see my brother have to return, hopefully, to set up his positive essay. That's Mr. Dubé. Yes, since love to you. Since my visit and initiation into AMT, my spirituality have greatly matured, and nothing but positive possibilities have come my way. Allowing spirituality to become your way of life, even positively affects your immediate family near to your heart. When you do your part, spirits and your ancestors will work their magic. Thank you very much, Sister Angie Fisher. That is what it is. That is exactly what it is. Thank you. I'm very grateful. I'm thanking you for this piece. When you do your part, the spirit world and your ancestors will do their part. They will do their magic. That's the word. That's it. So when your destiny is set up for you and you are playing your part, even your own servant, people around you, everybody will benefit. Definitely. And then we have a Jiwonu Bowman saying that, Bowman, yes, how are you? Thank you very much for the other day. Yes, and then we have Tomiga. Please, what's the difference between Besa and Joka? Okay, they are very similar. Besa is coming from two heavy words. Be, as in word. Be, which means language or word. Sa is to use, to bind. So Besa simply means to use word to bind a situation. Instead of using a rope or anything, you are using words to bind that situation. That's what it's called, Besa. And Besa is words that are instant words that you say, like what people will say mantra, but it is a little bit above mantra in the sense that most Besa are only one or two words, and actions start taking place or things happen. Take for instance, somebody attacks you and you have this besa, which you can make people instantly mad. You just say only one word and that person will jump into the bush. They will start looking for him like a lost goat. That's how besa is. Or like the besas that we have inside the Aplaco. I was saying something about a girl who was sick with her head, her heart, and her tummy. That means the tummy, the heart, and the head were moving in the negative direction. So she was feeling the negative energy. What we did is that we used the mesa, which is the positive for the head, the positive for the heart, the positive for the stomach, to reverse everything to come back to normal, and she was okay. That's exactly what we did. Just use it. So I told them this one is for the negative side and this is for the positive side. So we call the negative and then balance it with the positive, and that situation balances. I mean, it's a whole lot of practice thing to study. Then joker and besa goes with joker. But when they make a joker for you, then the word that goes with it is the besa. So besa and joker are going side by side, because if you get joker, you don't have the besa. That makes the joker to work. The joker is just there. It is the bay which you say that will make the joker to activate. These are everywhere, so if you are able, you can understand it directly. But then for the benefit of everybody, I'm trying to break break it down. Because like the jo means power or fire in Hebrew, and eka means rope or string or anything that is a leash or whatever. Eka means, so a joker means the string of power or the rope of power. Joker. But then it becomes a common word for it, becomes joker means power. And power cannot work if you don't use your voice to activate it. So besa goes with the joker. And when you a sagbekwa, when you put the power word, then the joker will act on the words that you give. That is what besa and joker are. Well, thank you very much. And then we have Angie G. Fisher, Candy Fisher, and I came in October, and we can already write a bestseller filled with our overcomings, life, death, success, and so on. Ashe, thank you very much, Angie. Yes, I remember last October when you were Dube was leaving. When you
Sometimes. And Fisher is the guy that came when I was here.
Yes, the two of them, they are sisters.
Oh my goodness.
They came with their children too.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to say, but thank you all. Yeah. Since that last October until today, as you are saying, you must have had some personal experiences with your spirituality. That's it. We all started from somewhere. We all start from somewhere. Let Doluwu na Badunu. Doluwu. And then Candy Fisher is saying greetings, Papa and AMT family. Greetings to you, Candy. It's been a while. Last night I slept and I was thinking about you, that maybe today when I wake up I'll call you and see how you all are doing. It's been a while since we have been communicating. I wanted to see how all of you, the children and Angie and everybody, how, and now today you people are all here. thank you very much for joining us. I
It's
wish
nice
you
to hear the testimonies from the people that I met. You know.
yes. And we're hoping to see you people soon again for the other initiation. And then we have a young. Good afternoon. What are you putting there? And now a young. Good afternoon, Papa. Can you protect your essence so that no one can invoke it to ask it to feed it or do something like that? Yes, of course. That's why you take care of your essay. And okay, you are yes. To taking care of your essay is the way you protect yourself and empower it so that other people cannot invoke and overpower it. You are just putting the things everywhere. I don't know what is what. The one who quite the children know that they don't know. Yeah, I mean, the magma could play set up. It's okay. No, am I on?
Yeah.
Okay, you know when you are a child, you don't think about so many things. It is only what you want now is what you think about. We are in a session, you can't just walk in and be talking anything. You want to buy biscuit, go and buy it. You don't have to tell me, just tell some elderly person to buy it for you. But anyway, he's also afraid that he probably will do it and I'll get angry. That's why he didn't tell me. So he also writes.
Another good thing.
Yes. Okay, also and now Yang was saying, can you do anything about that? Yes, you can do anything about it. You can do so many things about it by protecting and feeding your essay, giving water to your essay. Means when you don't have good water, good drink for your essay to be drinking, you get poor. So that means you leave the essay to other people to decide for you. So yeah, that's take care of this. And then we have Patricia Amor. If you are saying, good afternoon, family, Papa, please, can Vosa be done for someone who is in her menses? Yes, of course, why not? It can be done anytime. Vosa can be done. There's nothing to prevent you. It's only that there are certain spiritual places that you may not be able to enter because maybe the spirits that are there may not want a woman in a circle to appear before them. But general Vosa, as it is always, that can be done in menses. But if people are on sick bed, they are doing Vosa for them, how much more you a living person? Yes, that is Patricia Amon's question. And then we have now a young, what is AMT? AMT is an abbreviation of African Magic Temple. That's all that it is. And then we have Michael Opoku here. Papa, thanks for the explanation of it. So how does Tukpe operate and have effect on the target? Tukpe is a joker. And with that choka, they prepare it with besa. So a tukpe is a typical Ebe spirituality, I would say. That you don't carry a gun in your hand, but there are words that you say, and when you point your finger to somebody, the person will feel a hit of bullet on their body, and in that one may not cut anywhere, but it will start disturbing the person's body and create problem. That's what a tukwe. It's actually not a tukwe, it's called tukwe, means shotgun. Tukwe is a T-U-K-P-O-E. Tukwe. That's this is the southern Ebes we call it tukpi, but we in Ebe Central we call it tukwe. So it just simply means shotgun. So when there's a preparation of the tukwe or tukwe, there is a way to prepare it with some herbs and other things, and then with the mesa added to the choka. When the person uses it on you or mention your name and point that finger or point that gun towards you, the spirit will take that thing and spiritually you will have a bullet hitting you. There is the tukwe also called sopata, which is not very common but very dangerous. That one, they don't even need you to see you before they shoot you with it. The sopata is one of the most dangerous tukwe's that the Ebes have. And that one, when they set it up, they will pronounce the besa and point it to the sun. The sun. And call your name that they are shooting you. And when they shoot you, they're going to put a plate down. In the broad daylight in front of everybody, blood will fall from the sky and drop into the white plate. You are dead. Wherever you may be in the world, you are gone. These things that people, you welcome, get a long chair, get the bench, yes. These are things that people possess, but it's not that we don't know them, but we use it rather to protect people and defend people. Yeah, that's what we will do. Mr. Jonathan. Is it Jonathan? Joshua. How are you?
Fine, sir.
Have you found head and tail to your problem?
Yeah.
It's on the way?
Yes.
Okay. We thank God. Thank God. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, Michael, that is the point. The tukwe is so many. There are so many different types of tukwe. I remember I went to a funeral, and that time the old man was alive, but he was very tired. He usually would lead the what do you call it, the warriors to that funeral. There's a musketeering day in most funerals in our area, where people will shoot guns and all this thing to respect the dead person, especially if the person is an elderly person from the royal family. So there was a time that the old man was old. He couldn't really move about that much. So he delegated me to lead our team. So I went with the team, and people were really shooting tukwe at me. They shot my back until my undershirt was completely torn. But I was okay. So there are things that happen in Eveland, or among the areas that are very, very dangerous. But that's why we are always preparing ourselves and strengthening ourselves. So that is it. So we have bring the distance down small. Let me see. Bring it down small. I have not this thing before you move. Jiwanu Bowman said, thanks for the explanation. Tobiga, my regards to the Eche sector and the family. Okay, I will tell them. Thank you very much, Bowman. And then we have a vampiric, hello Papa, can one get Mbenza from initiation? I don't know what is Mbenza, it's not an every word. So I will not know what Mbenza is. Mbenza, I don't know what it is. If you can bring it down to my understanding, I will be able to answer because it's not an every word. So I will not know what it is, and I don't know what it is. Then we have a Saki religion again, Togbi can Besa, that is supposed to run someone mad work on animals. If it is a proper Besa, it can work on animals. Animals also have souls. It can work on them. There's a what do you call it when you go into a farm and you happen to be you happen to know a little bit about Badu or Ibadu. When you happen to know a little bit about it, you should understand when they cook Badu's food. If you are not initiated, you are not supposed to eat it. It's only people who are initiated or people whose faces have been washed before the deity Badu are the only ones who eat. If people eat the food and any food remains, what they do is that they will dig hole and bury it. If dog, chicken, or anything happen to go and eat that thing without happen to eat it, the thing dies. The spirit kills it, or the spirit works on it and it dies too. So Mesa can also affect animals. And then Kelly Fisher is talking. Papa, what was nice? I was thinking about you too. Oh, that is, I can understand. I can understand. Yeah, that's happened last time and it's happening again this time. That is good because we all think good for each other, and that could bring that kind of mutual happenings. I had a dream I was at a barbecue with my husband and someone was trying to feed me burnt barbecue. No, don't eat this thing because it's usually witches who do that. Will feed you, and if you are feeding you meat is not good. I went to eat it and you came and had me spit the food out saying they were trying to harm me. Yes, honestly, that's it. So it's a witchcraft. They are trying to get you, but they won't get you. And truly it was good after you saw me in your dream that I came to let you spit it out. That's good. Thank you very much for that. Yes. Is that the last one there? For now, okay. Let's try the YouTube. So Kanye will talk later after we are done with this, and I try to connect with you. Then, okay, we go to YouTube. We have Mario Young here. Daddy, I have a suggestion. If you and Dr. Cosmos Labi can have a live session soon, that would be great. Lots of knowledge on the herbs can be known. Yes, that's very true. Then I would have to discuss with him if you have the chance. He's a very, very busy man, taking care of so many patients around the world. So, but I will ask him and then see when we can have a section together. I will invite him, and then you people can ask him questions too. He's a very great man. He is so versed in the herbs. That doesn't mean he doesn't have spiritual things. So there's a lot of spiritual power too. But he wants to keep his within the herbal way of doing things. But he is everything, very, very knowledgeable in almost everything. I pay so much respect to him. So we'll see. I'll ask him, and then if he has a free time, we may have a section together, either at his place or maybe at my place. Then we have Samuel Duck. Say hi, hello Samuel. How are you? Thank you very much. And then we have Papa. Is the Mbeza words of power something that comes from the spirit that a person initiates into, or is it something only related to Zuka? And that's what I was saying, that I don't know what is Mbeza. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it's everywhere because every words are not spelled from this. We don't have a double. What would I say? consonants to start a word with. It's not very common. But Mbeza, I don't know whether it is but if you break it down to be what Mbeza is, then I can know whether the power from when you are initiated into a spirit, you are given certain words to use whenever you need the work of that spirit, or you want to invite that spirit, or you want to invoke the spirit. And those are the words that are Mbeza, or you may say Zoka words, or incantations, or powerful mantras, or holy words, as it's called in English. So when I'm able to understand what Mbeza words of power, power is the Mbeza words of power. Okay, maybe the Mbeza means Mbeza. Maybe it means Mbeza. Yes, if I can understand it, it means Mbeza. Yeah. So it is the Mbeza that makes the Zoka to work, because without Mbeza, no Zoka can work. We see the Zoka is not the way we, the Aves in Ghana, pronounce it. It is the Aves in Togo and Benin that pronounce the word Joka. We don't call it Zoka. Zoka is Joka. D starts the word. So maybe if you say D starts the word, then maybe it is the consonant say like Joka. Yes. It's not called Zoka. It's Jo as in fire. Joka, not Zoka. But then this is the most common way, because people cannot pronounce it Jo, so they say Zo. The word is Jo, fire, Joka. Yeah. Then we have Ian Campbell. Hey Papa, what are some of the cleansing rituals that we should do when someone is in your home dying? I would advise that if someone in your home is dead, you should look for fumigation herbs or any incense that you think that can take away the spirits. So you just fumigate the whole house and then put water, salt into water, sprinkle the whole house with salt water, and that should be good enough to cleanse the house. And then again, Ian Campbell again, is it true that everything that is here in the physical world is also there in the spiritual world, such as house, car, phone, and so on? You know, house, car, phone, and so on, these things are man-made things. They are man-made things, so I don't see how those things are also in the spiritual world. There may be certain things in the spiritual world that it may not be like the car and all these things, because everywhere in the world, whether physical world or spiritual world, there is movement. But you should understand that in the spiritual world, you are not a physical being. So you don't need physical things. You are more of a mind. You are more of a mental entity. So when you think, it happens. That's why when we who have tried to develop ourselves on spiritual path, everything we do is with our mind. When someone is sick far away, we will just do some ritual here, but we use our mind to follow that ritual, and then it works for the person. So when you are in the spiritual world, you are not a physical being, so there is nothing like a physical car, house, and all this. It's all mind. So it may not be the same. Magda, have you fed the birds?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So I don't think it's the same. There is nothing need of food. You don't need food, because even here we can sit down without anything. Our minds can go anywhere and take information and bring. So why do we need a food? But maybe that's what people, physical Christians and religious people try to create. But I know that the spiritual world is more of the mental or mind field of the human mind or spirit than physical thing. So I don't think there is any physical thing that is taking place over there. And Ian Campbell, does having children having children is a requirement of being a good ancestor? If you want to continue living, you can only continue living through your children. You cannot continue living if you don't have any child. When you end, that's the end of your life. But if you want to continue living, and you want your children to call you ancestors, then you have to have a child. That's it. If you don't have a child, how can you be an ancestor? Ancestor to who? Maybe you'll be ancestor to your brothers and your family, but you will not be ancestor to anybody. And when they are gone, then you are finished. Yeah. You know, in our culture, people who have children or who actually took care of certain children, those children become their children, even though they may not be biologically born by them. Those children will revere that mother or father as their father, and they continue to call that person as their ancestor on ancestral tree. But then that one also is limited because it is blood that makes someone your ancestor. Because if they trace your roots, even on the DNA, and you don't have any blood relationship with someone, they cannot relate that person to you. And we are talking about of ancestors as people who share the same DNA with us, or people who we share the same DNA with. Thank you very much, Pia. Yes, let's go back. What's the time now?
3:59.
Okay, we'll be closing by 4 o'clock. So let's go back to some of the questions. So please send in your question quickly. Where your distance is, you are pointing and covering the whole thing. Don't be putting it on the person's profile picture. If you put your cursor on the person's profile picture, I cannot see. Okay, then Van Perry is again say, Papa, I meant to say Besa. I misspelled it. Yes, Besa goes with Zoka. Without Besa, no Zoka will work. If you have any spirit that is with you, if you don't have a name for the spirit and have the incantation, which we call Besa, I tell you, it will never work. It is just an object there. It's just like you are having a car with petrol inside, you don't have the key. How can you drive it? It will not drive. Then we have Sakiru legend. Again, tell me, how is Azar different from Tukui or Sopata? Azar is where I was talking about. That's what I was talking about before. When they will call your essay, they set up food for your essay to come and eat because your essay is not properly taken care of or is hungry. And when your essay goes to eat that food, there is also set a trap. Just like a mouse, you know, just like a mouse, they put the cheese on the mouse trap. And because the mouse is hungry, it's going to go and eat the cheese. And once it goes to eat the cheese, it will step on something and then pop, the mouse trap will catch it. So that is what happens in what they call Azar among the Aries. When people want to kill you, you're not physically there whereby they will use anything to attack you. They set a trap for your destiny. And when your destiny goes to eat the food they use in setting the trap, it will kill your destiny or it will hit your destiny, and your destiny will leave your physical body, and then your physical body will die, and they say you die. Most of the time when they set Azar for people and the person dies, what happens is that when a mouse trap hits a mouse, what do you notice? Anybody can tell me. When a mouse trap, Governor, when a mouse trap hits a mouse, what happens?
It screams.
Yeah, it screams, but what happens to the animal after it dies?
Sometimes it splits into two.
Okay. The most common one is that you see that blood came out through its nose. You will notice that blood came out through its nose because it will only come through an opening. So when people trap your essay and use Azar as the question that Sakiru is asking, and they hit your essay, you, the human being who will die, You will not die like in normal death. You will just be somewhere, something will just happen and you fall down. And then you are dead. And blood will come through your nose. That is called asa when they use asa to kill people. That's why we are always protecting ourselves against so many things. I am telling you, the Jews have power, but the Arabs too, they have some. I'm very sorry to say so, but the Arabs, they know the key to nature so much that someone will just be in his room and then put what call it, anchovy fish, and hang it near a mouse trap and pray to your ancestor to come and eat it. Once your ancestor come and eat that coming there, then the mouse trap will just beat it and you are dead somewhere far away. I'm telling you, there are so many things that is inside this movie. That's why people feel. I agree, but voodoo is depending on the person who is holding it. It's like a knife. You can use it for good. You can use it for bad. That's why we don't just go initiating just anybody who say, "Oh, initiate me, initiate me." We need to know you a little bit, at least know what kind of mindset you have. So that when we initiate you, we know that you will not use this energy that will be giving you to destroy people. You will use it for you. For me, at AMT, that's why I don't just see you because you bring your money and I just initiate you. No, I don't do that. And I will not do that. Yes, go up and let's see. We have spoken about Kaddish owner already. We have talked about vampiring also. Then Sakiru was talking about how is Azan different from Tupi or Sopata. It's almost the same, but Sopata is when the thing will hit you. In Sopata also, it is something that will happen to you. You start to feel pain and then you die. But Azan, most of the time, is something that happens instantly. Yeah. And okay, maybe there's some they are equally the same in different ways, but maybe people have different. But Sopata is Tupi. Sopata is Tupi, but Aza is not Tupi. Sopata is Tupi. They have different types of Sopata. The one that different types of Tupi. The one I'm talking about is the Sopata, which is the one that they use in shooting the sun and put a plate down and blood will come from the sky and drop into the plate and you are dead. Because the sun covers everywhere, so when they shoot the sun, you are under the sun, so it will find you. It's science. It will find you wherever you are in the world. You can't hide. But these things are not given to children. They are for war. When people are against you and are trying to destroy you, that's the time you use this kind of keys. And Mao police will not get angry because the message goes up there before coming down. Yes, Gabriel wanted to ask a question. Turn the camera on to Gabriel.
So like somebody shooting the sun for somebody to die. Does the sun judge before killing a person? The spirit will they judge somebody before?
Also, you are not doing something good, and that's when, if you are not on the correct path and protecting yourself, that's when you think that if the mouse or chicken is crossing the road and the car hit it, will you say that the chickens and gods is not a living given chance or this? It is something that happened. But when people are driving and frogs are passing and you kill the frog, you think they are not also trying to be alive? They were also trying to be alive, but they did not calculate well before crossing the road. That's why car will hit them. But some frogs, they will wait. When they hear and know that there's no car passing again before they will leap and cross the road. If you've been driving at night, you will see how clever frogs and animals are. There is only the stupid ones who start crossing when even are hearing the sound of the car. So that's how life is. We are not more important than anything. We are all the same. We are not more important than any living thing. We are all the same. So when somebody throws a sopata towards you, why should the sun or anybody be judging? But if you have some spirit that is very strong working with you, the spirit also will intervene on your, this is like how the Israel people are killing the Palestinians, yet still they have the Iron Dome protecting them. That's what it is. If the Palestinians also have Iron Dome or even have guns like Israel, it will not be small thing. They will be on equal level. But unfortunately, America and the Western world, they created Israel. So they don't want anybody around Israel to be stronger than Israel. Which I agree with them, because where your mouth is, that's where should be your kitchen. Huh? Your mouth should be in your kitchen. So you must protect your kitchen. Are you getting my point? So if people are protecting the Israelites, they have the right to protect them. But it is not fair. It is not fair. They have the right to protect them, but when you look at it, it's not fair. So if anybody else wants to get a nuclear power, the whole world is against them. But nobody cares whether Israel has a nuclear power or not. So that's the unfair thing. But the European world and America and all this, their wealth, as far as oil and everything is concerned, is coming from the Middle East. For their industries to run, for their everything to run, they depend on the oil. They also have oil, but they depend on that oil. So don't they have right to protect their interests? They have right to protect their interests, surely. So in life, nothing is really bad or good. It is how you are looking at it.
Can I rephrase the question again? Okay, let's say somebody goes to a fetish priest and kill this person for me. And the fetish priest also goes to the spirit.
Right, take every video.
This person came here. I want this person there. Are they going to do some background check to see if the person really needs to die before killing the person?
It depends on the priest.
Okay.
There are some priests who are so hungry, they are ready to do anything to make money. To the point that they will not even ask questions. They just go to their spirit and start sending them to go and destroy. Okay. But then there are also certain people who have so much built up themselves, their identity is strong, so that that priest, when he starts praying, he will fall down and die in front of his own spirit. That's why we are teaching all this, and that's why we are doing all this, to strengthen our inner self, to strengthen our destinies and our self. So that if someone calls you anywhere, your essay is so strong that that person who is even praying will just be living down and be dead on the spot. Yeah, so because it's not only one person who possesses power. And one person doesn't have monopoly over the power. It is all up to you yourself to strengthen yourself, build yourself up so that such kind of things cannot just come and happen. That's all that you are learning. These are the things we are all learning to build ourselves. Yeah. So let's see if there's any bit. Okay, then I'm a love for labor. Yes, he says love, love, love. Yes, hello, my brother. I'm a love for. How are you? Thank you very much. And then Sakiri told me, why is it that Trump, have a tough time with their Trump cuckoo? Trump have a tough time with their Trump cuckoo. Some have it difficult to even remove it for a second for fear of death. Yeah. When somebody died by a throne means a voodoo or a deity. These are all the names Evans used to describe spirit. But when they call it a throne, means it's very powerful. It's a deity that has other small vodus around. So when someone died by another person cursing the person by calling one a throne or deity to go and destroy another person. When the person died, that's what the question is. When the person was killed by a throne or by a deity, so many priests are scared of going to take that person to bury, because there are certain deities or a throne. Now when they kill a person, until what they wanted to be done is not done, and if you, another person, goes to touch that dead body, you too will die. Just like electricity catches a person, and you did not switch off the power, and you rush in to hold that person, the electricity will catch you too. That happens in our voodoo or in our tradition. Usually before a throne kills somebody, the throne will try to judge, go through what is wrong and why that person needs to be punished. This is where the Tronkoshi, which people are called Trokosi, this is where Tronkoshi comes into every tradition. Somebody has committed a crime and the person is hiding. They are looking for the person and they can't find the person. So they send the matter to a throne or to the deity, of which the deity determined is powerful, and reported the case that, okay, we lost this person. We are looking for the person but we cannot find it. So please, you as a deity or a throne, go look for this person for us. And if you look for this person, we will thank you. So now the deity go looking for the person, and the deity found out that this person was the one who actually killed the one or is hiding the person. So the priest and the priestesses from the deity will send message to these people that our voodoo or our throne or our deity has identified you that you are the cause of this problem. If you think that it is not you, please come and swear by the voodoo that it is not you. Are you getting my point? Then you too, maybe out of fear that people will know that you are the one who committed the crime, or out of the belief that you can overcome that voodoo, or out of shame, you want to prove to people that you are a correct person, you go to swear by the voodoo that it is not me. What will happen is that within a short time, or within a certain time, that the throne or voodoo or the deity will make its investigation. And if the voodoo feels that you are the one who did it, but you are denying to kill you, and when you die, your family people, because you don't come and die in the voodoo's house, you die in your own house. If your family is smart, they will come and do a reading quickly to know. That's what the areas do. What caused this death? And then it will come to light that, oh, this person did something and they put him inside one particular throne, or they curse that person. They curse that person by the throne. So the family, it becomes their duty to go to the throne house or the shrine to ask that particular deity, oh, we had our man or our woman who died, we heard that it is your voodoo or a throne When I say throne, we are talking about every central area. That's the way we call it. We don't call it vodu as such. Was the one who killed our person. So what things should we do before burying him? Then so the people who came, they said their person get lost, and they are the one who called our throne to go and look for the culprit. They said they want this, they want that, they want that. And our throne also, when it works, it want this, it want that, before you can pacify it or to cool its energy down. Now this family whose person was killed may not have money for all the things that they may call for them to pay. But they say, oh, let's forget it, let's just go and bury the thing, forget about this throne. Then when they bury finish, somebody dies. When they bury that one too, another one dies. Then now fear catches the whole family. They ran back to the deity. So we beg, what should we do? Then the deity said, okay, you have to bring a human being from your family to come and be serving in the shrine until you people you are able to pay. Then you can take it. It's like collateral, as in business. Come and put your human being here. So now the family decide who they will put. So most of the time they put a very innocent person. Of course they can only put an innocent person, but that person has not committed anything, to be in the shrine, to be serving in the shrine until the family is able to gather money to go and pay the deities things before that child comes back home. And most of the time the families will not pay anymore, because so long as there's a human being in the shrine there, the death will stop in the family. Are you getting the point? This is where the throne koshi comes in. It's not like people just like they are slaves and they put them in. It is a spiritual thing. And most of the children, they grow up there, they don't even want to go back home. Because they learn the work and all this, and they also, most of them become priests and priestesses. But when you look at it from the Western point of view, it's as if someone is just committing human right abuse. And then they go to especially the NGOs, they wanted to make money from their own people for themselves, and they come and use this kind of articles and project it in such a way that it's so bad that people. But at the end of the day, the monies they collect as NGO goes to the NGO owners, and nothing really comes to the person they are presenting to defend. But it's a hypocrisy, but the world is a hypocritical world, so let's leave it like that. So this is where what happens. So when a throne kills, because people are afraid that the throne will kill them, to the priest who they call to come and bury, they are also scared. Unless there are certain things you yourself, you be prepared, they prepare you well, so that when even a person die by a thunder strike or all kind of this thing, you can carry the person and bury it and nothing will happen, because you have your vibration is higher than the throne that is killing the people. This is what happens. It's a whole lot of things. So that's why in every land in the olden days it's very, very rare for people to commit crime. You cannot even just go and steal from somebody's farm, because you don't know what the person put there. People leave their doors open and no thief will go in and steal anything. Now that we have religious organizations in both Christianity and Islam, there's so much crime going on because nobody fears anything anymore. That's why when you catch the criminal and so let's go to a throne. So no, me, I'm a religious person, I don't go there. Yeah, this is what they say. So me, I'm a religious person, no, I'm not dealing with those things anymore. Because they know that place, the truth is there, they will catch you. Yes, Gabriel, go ahead.
My question also is, can those or by someone.
Yeah, they can be compromised if the person knows the way. That's why I'm saying that when you have certain things that you are built up with, there are certain kind of talisman, there are certain kind of herbs that you know the secret of. When you wear those herbs or you put those herbs in your mouth, or you see, when you go to the throne cannot understand anything because it's like a lie detector, but then you prepare something and you cannot detect anything. Yeah, sometimes thrones are compromised. If the throne is not powerful and the leader, the person in charge of the throne also is not powerful, they can be compromised. There's what they call Dani. Dani, I think it's a Akan word to change. So there are some thrones also, people who have this, those who are bad people, they have Dani. But it's not only bad people, I also have Dani here. But for me, my Dani is when I'm sick or anything, anybody is sick, I take you to the pot and bath you to that. Whatever they send towards you will repel. It's like a repellent. So the Dani, people have Dani when they do baptism, they just bath it and any spirit they are sending to them will never come here. Yeah, I mean, we are human beings, so if someone knows this way, another person knows another way. That's why to teach people, you have to know them, who you are teaching and who you are not teaching, because you don't know who is who. Yes, let's go up. The Sakiru, that's what my answer. Because people fear for death, because some of the throne, when you play with them, they kill you. Then vampiric and Papa, you talk about calling the essay. There are anthropologists who have written about how in Haiti voodoo certain practitioners try to lure and trap the essay in bottles. Have you heard about this? Yes, I have heard about it. Yes. Yeah, they can trap people's spirits, and then the spirit will feel uncomfortable all the time. The person is feeling uncomfortable as if someone put them in a box. It does happen. If they can kill it, why can't they trap it? Yes, and we have a for Edem Maube. Edem, how are you? Thank you. Are you back in town or you are still out? When you come back, please visit. Thank you very much. Then I have Ifa Kemi Ayesha Maskanet. Amen. Greetings, family. Greetings to you, Ifa Kemi. Thank you very much for joining us. Then the Sakiru Legion, thanks Tommy for the explanation. I was referring to the cuckoo hat that the throne wears. Okay, some will have to pray for hours before they can remove it down. I encountered a certain throne who know that was to take the passport picture and was asked to remove the hat. Since each time they took the shot, the picture distorts. He had to pray with the water for several minutes before he was able to remove the hat. Yes, a throne cuckoo, as you mean the hat. Yes, there are certain thrones when they put you in charge of them, then they have to wear a hat for you. The hat represents the voodoo or the throne that is sitting on the person or the deity that mounts that particular person. So what do you call it? The hat represents that. So we call such people kukuto, owner of the hat. Kukuto. And there are some few people who are kukutos. When you are a kukuto or the owner of a hat of a throne, when they put it on your head, you don't just remove it. Like that boy who wanted to go to school in Georgia some time back, and it became a very big issue because he would not remove his hat. But the school wanted him to remove his hat, but he was already a priest. I think they did that until the school had to come down and accept him. Just like these Rastafarian boys who Achimota school refused and they had to go to court and win the case. Now the school has to accept it. Why do we have to worry ourselves so much? Something that is part of our culture, and every time we want to be like white people, but we can never be like white people. Well, we are not white people, and we can never be like white people. We are black people, we are Africans, and we should begin to admire and respect our own culture so that our nations can move forward. But with this kind of hypocritical characters we have in our society, they are the ones who are putting the brake pedal on the progress of Africa by hanging on to European ideology, and they hanging on to things that Europeans do, and look at what Europeans or white people do as more better, perfect than what the black man does. This is the problem. So we need to love our culture. So if Sekiru is talking about the heart, the cuckoo, it's because the spirit is mounting that person, and the heart represents the spirit. So for you to put the heart down, you need to appease the spirit so that the spirit agrees that you can put the heart down. So why the man know that he's going to do passport is well in the heart? He should pray in the house before leaving. Yes, you pray in the house before you leave and tell the spirit this is what you are going to do. And then the spirit will understand. And if there's any ritual to do, you do it before going there. So when you go there, you know, I say it's not everybody who is a throne man who is clever. So I will not blame them too. Not everybody is clever, not because you are with a throne means you are a clever person. And most of them are stupid. I tell you, honestly. They just are there and they know only one way. And that's it. They don't go down on anything. And such people don't live for long, they die quickly. So that is it, Sekiru, is because of the spirit mounting the person is in the heart, or the heart represents that. And then Edem Mangwe say, I'm back in town, I will definitely visit Tommy. Thank you very much, Edem. Tommy, those hypocrites hate everything African and call them pagan, but they still hold on to their signing. Oh, my brother, thank you very much. They are so hypocritical. And when there is a chief in their family, they are ready to go and visit the chief, and yet still they hate all the traditional things that people do. Even to the point that some chiefs are called, they want to be chief, yet still they hate tradition. Stupidity, I will call it. Okay, now we are for what?
4:30.
Okay, viewers and great listeners, fans around the world. Revolution question and answer fans. I'm thanking you all for joining us. It's been a very interesting section, beautiful questions, and I thank you all for staying together, and we hope to see you again next week. We had already put something up there that if people give us ideas and what things you want us to talk about, then we will build our lecture, our discourse around that. So please let us go to YouTube and see if there's anybody there. Yes. Okay, we answered those ones already. Go up. Does having children say, okay, Ian, can someone marry a wife from there rather than... Okay, let me see. Ian, can someone marry a wife from their brother that might have died? I don't know. I've not died yet before, but I don't know. Even if I had died at the time in my life, I cannot remember. But to get married there and marry here, it's possible, because when we do the separation of a man who died, leaving the wife behind, and a woman who died and leaving the husband behind, there's a saying we say that when you go there, now that you leave me and I am alone here, when you get there, if you find a wife, marry, because there's a belief that there's another world out there. So you may find a wife, you may find a girlfriend there or whatever, I don't know. But it's highly possible, because the Aries say that when you find a new woman there, please marry, and allow me also, if I find another husband or a man or woman, I should also marry. So there's possibility, highly possible. Yeah. And then Yankama, is it true that when someone plays a spell, after the person who cast the spell on you has died, the spell that they place on you will leave you? I don't know. I cannot tell. I don't know at all. That one I cannot tell. Sometimes people die I remember a story that they told me that there was this man who was married to a woman. The man was very, very powerful. And then a time came that one day the man wanted to sleep with the wife, but the wife said no, she wasn't ready. So the man got angry and got a padlock spiritually and locked the wife and said that she will only urinate with that engine, no more any man. And truly, after the man died, the woman could never stay with any man to the point of even having sex at all. She's been locked and locked forever, and she lived like that until she died. Not that she didn't have the desire, but because she was locked. So it is possible that happened, but I don't know whether if the person died and the spell is gone or it's not gone. I don't know. I cannot say. I will have to ask elders to find out, and maybe another time let you know. The IBT is saying good afternoon, Papa. Ibrahim, how are you? Thank you very much for joining. I missed out on a lot because I was a little busy. I'm glad to be back on your show. Thank you very much, Ibrahim, and we are also happy to see you again. And then we have Rans 1. Greetings, Tommy. Do you have Tigari Shrine? And can you speak about Tigari Shrine? I don't have a Tigari Shrine, but I have Tigari inside my spirits. But I don't have a Tigari Shrine. But one of my spirits is a combination of so many different spirits in Area and North. So there is Tigari within one of my spirits, but I don't have a Tigari Shrine. Then RR say, Papa, can the ancestor not allow a person to marry someone of another tribe or race? Why not? My wife is not from my tribe, it's not from my race. I marry, and my wife is a Japanese. I'm a man from Ghana. My wife is Japanese from Japan. So why won't the ancestors allow? And my wife is the one who gave birth to these beautiful sons that are doing all this work that you are coming to see. So the ancestors are not angry with anybody marrying from any other tribe or any other race. It doesn't matter. If the two of you have a common understanding of life, you can marry. That's all that matters. The understanding, common understanding. So thank you very much, everybody. And I'm going to just pour the final libation, and then we'll see you again next week. Oh, I'm going to talk about my people. You're talking about vodu to Rapo, my Sapasa, the Kuno, Hotokoshino, Hotokiri, Mayo, Mayo, I would have a mature have a great with you at that Pesa Salon, but I'm not go Adru, Kotokolido, Kumakwa, but Tono Nature for the money, if you want to sing Gravio. Mayo Hala Matahala, I was out if you don't come and that. So you're at the Ombuga. You know what I'm a cadamo. Every meanwhile, Facebook Live in a better than a top of the people in Nanisu, maybe Nanisu, and you. Because I remember the good I go mono, and I never mono, while I'm still mono, and go away mono. Then you are doing pot and any chassis pot and any so pot and any pot. I may give you a attack on a pot and I may listen to demons and pour the person, I may acid demons and pour acid on them. I may let the demon the pot in the pot. I may a dollar when I'm an assistant. I may run an assistant over it. Over an assistant boom, and you said, well, no pot. As in Eddie, I go ready over one. No blind, oh, one I'm a bubble. No foreign, no one I'm an assistant of water, no poker. I don't know, in a mono. I see the mono because I remember the girl. I've been up on the middle, kind, and I've been back. Abrabo, now that whatever. You do better, will do our domain. Akpenami. Thank you all very much. Yeah, and the questions that came were good questions. Yeah, very good questions. Because that's what I want people to ask. What is confusing people? What people do not understand. did something very bad somewhere. I did it in a hidden way and people didn't see me. I want everybody to pay attention to this word tronkoshi and how it came about. I, Christopher Voncujovi, for instance, I go to farm and then I met someone in my farm. Maybe the person is stealing my things. Instead of me arresting the person, I decide to shoot the person down. And I shot the person and then I buried the person. Covered it. I was the only one who did that. Nobody knows. So people start going out looking for their relative. They start going out looking for their relative and they are not finding it. Then they go to a throne, let's say a throne like Toby Ajima or Toby Ajimu, or they go to a